Okay, so I'm going to make this video for my friend, and hopefully information in this video I can give to my other friends when this situation comes up again. So I use my very horrible and negative experiences as a learning experience, and then I pass on what I've learned to people I care about so that they have a heads up, because nobody cares about me and I have to for myself. So, oh well for me, whatever. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about some of the issues with the system. And I do speak from experience, and I had to learn this the hard way. And I'm going to tell you this right now, specifically to my friend, but anyone else who is going through the situation or who may or has gone through something similar. So now regarding the student loan stuff, so this similar type of practice has also gone on with credit cards, such as like Discover. I don't know about Discover card is still doing things like this, but I could tell you stories. So Discover card, insurance companies, and most especially loan companies, like student loan. I'm not going to name any names, even though I did say Discover card, but like I said, I don't know the practices of Discover card currently. Now, when it comes to, there's the system now, everybody in America is pretty much fed up with the system, which can mean a lot of things, the way things are set up. And I know you can probably see similar things in certain government systems and healthcare systems, but I'm most specifically talking about debt and payment type stuff, which has a very similar tactic going on. Basically, with these loan companies, and I'm not even going to get into like toxic assets and any of that other stuff, which ties into the financial thing. But this has happened to people I'm related to several times, and have had to try to help them out. I've also listened to them with their issues. So let's go. Okay, so let's say you have a loan. You have a thing. You could be paying it on time. You call them, whatever, and then they tell you, yeah, I got it, it's taken care of, you have this problem, and then nothing happens. So then months go by, and then they give you a letter saying, why didn't you this and that? And you're like, what the heck? I called them and they said it was fine. I said it was taken care of. No, because they want to not do it, because they want to fine you. They want you to be in trouble. They want to make more money on you. They also, a lot of times, trade stocks based on, how much money they're making, and forcing people into paying fees is an easy way. If you are default, if you have problems on your credit score, then you're forced into paying more, forced into having higher charges. So of course that's what they want. They don't want you to have good credit. They don't want you to be a good payment person. They want to screw you up. So if you keep calling in, a lot of times they claim that they record the calls and they say for quality assurance, etc., etc. A lot of times they do not do that. It's just a tactic to scare you. Now, if they actually are, you should cite that. You should say, well, I called at this time, at this day, and this person, and make sure you get their number. Sometimes they won't give you their whole name. They'll give you either their first name or their last name or their employee number. Make sure you write that down with whoever you talk to, even if it's a pleasant conversation, whoever it is. And a lot of times, because these jobs are very high stress, they go through people crazy, like the turnover, because some people can't handle the job, because it's not set up to be pleasant. It's not set up to be good. It's just supposed to be stressful for everybody, so you'll not want to deal with it. So you'll not want to think critically, and then they'll go, well, oh, I took care of it, and then you just believe them. Right? Well, same thing with what is going on with the people who work there is they want them to see how much stress they can handle, and when they can't handle, they get rid of them. So nobody's really accountable. It's this constant pushing the credibility and the accountability off to someone else, and it's not me and it's not them, and so on. You want to know who you're dealing with, who is talking to you. Because if you called at a certain day at a certain time and there's a record of it, which I'm pretty sure they still don't record any of that stuff, but if they do, that's evidence, okay? Then, so you write down what it is, And a lot of times they'll say, well, we'll send you this in the mail, we'll send you that form in the mail, and they never do. And I know which loan company you're talking about because I had to deal with them. I still have to deal with them, and I'm hopefully going to be done with them eventually, right? Okay, so I had a situation myself, which was the source of so much stress, anger, anxiety, negative everything, hurt, pain, etc. And it had to do with someone else, and it has ruined relationships within my people I'm related to. And they lied to me. They would change your story. They would say, oh, yes, you can do this. I'll send you this form. Oh, no, you can't really do that. And they would constantly change the story. It would constantly be just passed off to another person, to another person, to another person, to another person. So, eventually, you'll get pissed off enough because they're screwing you over, and I'm sure people there, maybe even in certain offices, will say, no, we don't do that. We don't do that. But why do you constantly keep screwing over your customers? Why does this constantly keep happening? Because it's supposed to be like that. It's designed to be like that. It's designed to screw with you, to mess up your credit, to mess up your bills, it is. I've seen it over and over, especially the specific company. So when it comes to those collection agencies, I want you to, first of all, when it comes to like contracts and things, always have one of these. This is a highlighter, marker, pen, whatever you want to call it. And highlight the stuff that you don't understand. Never sign anything, okay? Because you could be on the hook for something you don't know. If you don't understand it, you highlight it. Somehow that helps you to understand things. It just sort of makes it click. If there's any lingo in there that you don't understand, there's something called Black's Dictionary. You can look up legal lingo, financial lingo, etc. in Black's Dictionary. Black's Law Dictionary, Legal Dictionary, whatever. Okay, Google it, whatever. And little hidden things in there, what we call in contract language as snakes, especially with finance. They have little things in there called snakes, and they're usually towards the back of the contract. Towards the front, it's not as bad, but as you go farther on, it gets worse. Because they figure you'll only read like the first 1 or 2 pages. They also word things so that it sounds funny. That's why I say use a highlighter. Okay? Now when it comes to collection agencies, I would say never, ever, ever, never sign anything, because they could put clauses in there saying that even though we've lied to you, you can't file that, you can't do anything against us saying that we've lied to you. There's actually ways you can go around that. There's fraud, and there's a bunch of other things, something called malfeasance, and so on. There's also things like where you can go into collection against them. You can file a lien against the collection agency if they're screwing up your payments and so on, if they're screwing up your credit. If you find out same thing, get their name, get their number, find out who they are. I mean, I'm not even talking about stalking. I mean, you can find out their public information, okay? Then this is the real way that you have to deal with this. If you keep getting the runaround and nobody will address the problem that keeps getting worse, you have to do what I call going to war. Okay? Now, if you're a pleasant, happy, friendly person, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to do. I was always a very friendly, spiritual, positive person, and I found myself in a situation dealing with these kinds of loan things that are absolutely devastating, horrible. They should be un-American. They should be illegal. In fact, I think a lot of practices that they do are illegal, but they still get away with it. You have to psych yourself into going to war. I don't care if it's you putting war paint on, or you stand in front of a mirror and you tell yourself you're a warrior, whatever it is, play like fight music, I don't know, gangster rap, heavy metal, hardcore, whatever it is, okay? You gotta do it, and you have to really pump yourself up. I mean, because they're attacking you, you're going to attack them back. Now what you do is you get that information. You find out who called you, or who you called. You get their number. You get you make sure you've been keeping track of all this stuff, so you have a track record. And then what you do is you call, either you call and you complain, but what you have to do is you have to keep calling and complaining. But that, they'll probably ignore you. I would say do that at first, and now you have to do like the real work. Okay, you can of course email bomb them, but you can do what I did, and this is the only thing that I could do to get them to address me. I needed them to know that I was not just a number, but I was a person, and that I have a face, and I have a name, and I wanted that whoever saw my name was going to deal with me then and now, okay? Because what do you do when somebody is a problem? You know, squeaky wheel gets the oil. Well, you got to be that squeaky wheel. You have to be annoying as hell. What I did was I got a bunch of graphics that were like demons, devils, horrific, grotesque pictures, even comics and things like that. And then I designed them as the company, with the company name, the person who did it, and I blamed that person for that they were demonic and that they were evil people, and I was basically like a fax terrorist. And I took these papers and I accused them of all the wrong things that they did, plus I went even more because I was doing psychological warfare on them. And it's a tactic that works because it disturbs everybody. Because it's like it gets in their head, okay? Because people deep down have a moral compass and they have guilt. Okay, you can't say, well, they told me to do this, or they told me to do that, or I didn't know, I was just following orders. Yeah, tell me about how that happened, how that worked out in Nuremberg. Just so you know. So what you have to do is you get all your papers, and let's say it's somebody named Susan or whatever who took your call and they said they were going to do this, and then they fucked you over anyway, and they didn't do what they said they were going to do, and now you're being charged for it, and you demand that they fix it right now, that they change it right now, and that they address you like an adult. And then the fact that you've tried to be professional with them, you have to say, well, I'm apparently I have to be as demonic as you are, because that's the only thing you actually understand, and you get really rough with them. So you get your fax machine. You plug it in, and you fax it to their fax number. And then you wait 5 minutes, and then you fax it again. And then you wait another 5 minutes, and then you fax it again. And you do that all day, every day. And I'm telling you, within a few days, they will unplug. They will unplug their fax machine. Then, eventually, somebody will call you, and they will leave a message on your machine because they have all your information, which is what you want. They'll try and psych you out, and they'll say, well, this is a federal matter and blah, blah, blah. What you do is you take whatever it is they said, especially if they're saying it's a federal matter, and you turn it back on them, and you say, federal matter my ass. You're the one screwing up my stuff. So you're accountable as well. And I'm going to take legal action about this. And then what you do is you fax bomb that person again and again. You do a whole new thing, and you say they're a demon, they're a witch. You could say, I put a curse on you. I mean, you are cursed forever. You want to really be like almost like psychological terror, because that's what they're doing to you. They are screwing with you, so you're going to screw back with them. And I found that within a few weeks, they finally decided to be civilized about it and deal with me appropriately, like the way they should have, like a company should do. Unfortunately, that's how it is. I've sat through conversations with a number of my relatives and friends who have had their credit screwed over because of imaginary penalties, just technicalities, and you didn't pay your bill you paid your bill 2 seconds too late or something, or it was a holiday, or nobody was home, but it's still technically your fault even though it's not. Like, it's just so ridiculous. So of course it's fixable. Of course you can address it. Of course you can do something, but if you have nothing else left to do, I mean, you have to go for broke. And I can tell you, when I did it, I had to psych myself out. It was absolutely stressful, and it's like you almost like a war dance in your head, and you know, you're gonna raid them, and you're gonna, I don't know, it's your nerves just, and you have to be vicious. You have to be as vicious as they are to you, even though they think they're not, but they are. You have to take it, everything that they've done to you, and put it back on them and magnify it. And that's how it is. It's unfortunate, but I would prefer that people were civilized and mature and adult, and that we could work everything out, because I loved the 90s and the Clinton era with all that, but we don't live in that world anymore. We're not in the 20th century anymore. We're in the new millennium, and it's horrible. So that's what you have to do. Now, if you can get more people together to fax, especially if they have similar situations, and do it, you can organize a whole protest, a fax protest. You can do an email protest. You can also blog about it. You can blog about it on like Blogger, which publishes directly to Google, and you want to badmouth that company's name. So of course the stockholders and shareholders aren't going to be aren't going to be happy. Social media can do a lot. Okay, a lot. So sometimes that's what you have to do. And that's just the way it is right now. I don't want it to be that way. I hate that, because I'm not a warrior. I don't want to be a warrior. I just want to be I don't know, either a problem solver or have no more problems. You know?